So, hey world, welcome to my channel and welcome to the Fantastic Four First Steps review. I was gonna say Fantastic Four 2025, but then I was like, no, it's First Steps. So I feel like they just called it that because it was a way to like differentiate from the other movies. Because yeah, I was gonna say 2025, but then it's like, no, it has the first steps. Because if you really think about it, it wasn't the first steps because I'm just going straight into it. Okay. Spoiler warning. I'm gonna be talking about everything that happens in it. I don't know about the. I don't know if I'm not gonna do it in order because I didn't take a notebook to the theater to like take notes. You know what I mean? I'm just going off the top of my head and the things that I really liked. I'm gonna try and incorporate like some images or some things into the review. Usually I don't do that. It's just me talking to the camera, which I feel like it would be enough, but I don't feel like people are that interested in just watching me talk. But on this one, I want to add some things because I really loved this movie. Every part of it, I loved. Every part of it, I loved. But yeah, I do have a main channel. Let me just also promote myself. I do have a main channel where I do other types of reactions, more like music and vocals related. So if you interested in that, definitely go check it out. And on this channel, I do more like, sometimes I do reactions to TV shows. Depends on what it is, depends if I'm really interested. I guess it's more like Marvel or like The Walking Dead. I do watch other things, but for the most part I also just do reviews of those. Because there's other projects that I just want to enjoy it. I don't feel like recording reactions to everything. So yeah, also have a Patreon, Twitch, TikTok. I go live on TikTok to sing. So if you want to hear me sing, definitely go check it out there. And yeah, have a lot of things. And also, yeah, don't forget to like. Um, or maybe wait until the end of the video. But I mean, look at this pretty face. How do you know when to like this video right now? Come on. But yeah, let's just go straight into it. Again, spoilers. 3, 2, 1. You were warned. Bitch, amazing. Amazing. And I'm gonna tell you why I thought it was so amazing. It was because of the emotions that movie made me feel. Because when I watch something at home, usually I talk to myself a lot. Like, I mean, that's why I started my YouTube channel, because I'm technically I am still talking to myself, but other people can watch it, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, oh, when I'm watching a movie, I pause it to talk to myself, to talk to the air, and I'm actually like, oh my god, this is gonna happen. What if this is gonna happen? Oh, you know what I mean? In the theater, I can't do that. Or I mean, I guess I could, but I'm not. Obviously, I'm not just gonna be talking out loud in the movie, in the theater. But I do that in my head still. I'm like, oh my god, what is gonna happen? But it's not the same thing. And so what that allows for the movie to like affect me different than when it does at home is because of the emotion. Because I am a very logical person. Is that how you say it? I don't know. I go by logic. I go by what makes sense. I still have my emotions, of course. I'm not like 100% just like, oh, this, and this because it makes sense. Sometimes it's fine to not make sense. But in the theater, because I can't express those thoughts out loud, it does allow me to feel more the movie instead of just trying to figure out what happens next. And so every part of it just made me feel a different thing, because we start in a universe where the Fantastic Four are the only superhero team. Not the only people with superpowers, but the only team of superheroes. And I don't think we've ever even got that with the Avengers. Like in the beginning, it was the Avengers. There was nothing else, right? But I feel like the way they portrayed it, this specific team on this specific universe, it just made me a fan of that team at the beginning of the movie. And that's why I think it didn't make sense to call it First Steps, because The intro of the movie is them telling what happened. They went to space, they got powers, and they actually showed them fighting like different villains. Like they were kind of showing like what's a word that you can that I can describe it? Instead of just going into the villain, they actually showed them fighting other villains before. It's like a not a rap sheet, but like the history. You know what I mean? They didn't just say, "Oh, they went to space and got powers," and then when they come back, and now they have to fight a villain. No, they got powers. They came back. They started the Fantastic Four. They fought villains, and now we're here. And they actually showed a lot. Like there was like a big monster. I don't remember what it was. There was like the mole man, something else, and I'm like, wait, how are they already showing like all of this fighting just in this beginning of the movie? And again, it doesn't make sense for the first steps because they kind of speed ran over the beginning of when they got powers. So you can't call a movie first steps, but then you skip the part where they actually gave their first steps as superheroes. But, and now I'm just clocking it right now, it might be because of the baby. Because it was his first steps. No, but we actually don't see the baby walking until like the end of the movie. Yeah, but it could be a lot of things, but I feel like it was more to differentiate. But yeah, it just made me feel every single bit. Like I said, it made me feel like a fan of these heroes just from the beginning of the movie, and the way they made the whole world, like the whole world was a fan. They had flags with the number 4. They were like, "Oh, Fantastic Four saved us." It was so cute, and like because it was the only superhero team, like it allowed everybody in the world to kind of idolize them to oh, these are our heroes. You don't have too many heroes where it's like a lot of people have their attention divided because there's so many heroes. No, in this universe it was just one team. And so it allowed for everybody to kind of unite and like fangirl over that one specific team and really have that sense of togetherness with that team. And then when the girl came in, what was her name? Bala Lee, whatever the fuck, I forgot. I should have searched it up before, but like I said, I have no notes. But yeah, when she came in and she gave the speech, bitch, when I tell you I was scared, because they really set the scene. It's like they came out of the tower to the middle of the street. All of the people were like on the street paying attention. Like, and they, as heroes, they didn't just stay in the tower. No, they actually came down to the middle of the people. Like to the middle of everybody so that they can all hear the message together. And she was like, "I herald its beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus."
I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus.
I was scared. And I was because you could just because they set the scene so well. She didn't just came in and like threaten somebody and she's like, "Oh my god, Galactus is coming, y'all are gonna die, goodbye." No. Her voice echoing in Times Square. Like the scene was set, bitch. It made me feel. The same thing when they show Galactus for the first time. It's not just a fucking giant monster and they're like, "Oh my god, it's supposed to be scary because he's giant." No, bitch. He was like, "I want the fucking baby, actually. I'll spare your world, but I want the fucking baby." He looked at the belly and he made her go into labor by looking at it. Huh? And then obviously, and then like the voice of the monster of like Galactus is like, it's a very generic voice because when it's like a big monster like this or a giant person, they always make like that deep with with the bass voice. But again, what made him scary was not the voice, or was not what the size of him. It was actually like his lines and what he said specifically and what he did actually. They didn't just rely on him being a giant to be scary. No, he was scary because of who he was. And that is fucking scary. Let me tell you. Like I said, he looked at the fucking belly. He said, I want the baby. And I want it now. Okay? And the whole scene of her giving birth while they were like running from the surfer on the black hole thing, and she had to make the whole ship invisible. That whole thing was just perfection. The fact that they actually went into the spaceship and went to like another planet and like another place. They actually traveled to find Galactus. They didn't just wait for him to come. They actually went there to space. They actually went after the threat. And when Johnny and the surfer were like fighting Galactus when they were trying to run away, and she was just sliding in the lava. There was like a whole thing where it was like a wave of lava, and it did this, and she was like surfing the fucking lava. Listen, the whole thing in space was so crazy good. It looked visually so stunning. This whole movie is just crazy. And then when when Galactus actually came to Earth, the way he fucking jumped in the water, he jumped in. That shit caused a tsunami. Because obviously of his height, you could like the water filling up the whole city, and then the boat. They even showed a boat like turning over, and all of the fucking buildings. He took a step, and all of the glass were breaking. It was crazy. He literally jumped into the fucking ocean, and it was still standing. That's how it was still a giant. Crazy, crazy. And the whole thing in the city, and this is how you could tell that this is the same director from WandaVision. It's just so good. The way he made the family. That's the whole thing. And that's what the Fast and Furious franchise kind of relies on. It's kind of like the same with the monster. You are not actually building a family. You're not actually using the term family. You're not actually, having the characters interact as a family and things happening. You're just saying that you are a family, so you should be in this together. That's it. In this one, no, they're actually a family because they actually interact with each other. They're actually they have conversations, they talk about it, they explain. When Sue came outside because she was supposed to deliver the baby, and everybody was like, oh, just hand him the baby so we can all live. And she's like, no, I will not give this baby up for the whole world, but I will also not give the whole world for the baby. And she said, we're in this together. We're a family. And she said, we're a family to the whole world. It wasn't even just the Fantastic Four. It was the whole world. She said, we are actually a family and we're going to do this together. The way they build the teleportation devices all together around the world. That's crazy. And that's how it should be. Because I'm tired of the hates and then just the public turning on the superheroes because and I'm gonna be doing a Superman review next because I watched the two movies yesterday together, like one after the other, and that's what the fuck they did in Superman, and that shit was pissing me off because at the first sign that they turn on the superheroes. But what made it different about this one is that she actually came down and she actually explained what the fuck was going on. And she actually said, I'm not giving up my baby for this world. But then I'm not giving up this world for the baby. You know what I mean? Crazy. And crazy that they were actually going to teletransport the Earth to a different solar system. Crazy. And it looked like it was about to work, bitch. It looked like it was about to work. When the surfer came in and she destroyed every single device, I actually felt my stomach sink, and I was like, bitch, what are we gonna do now? He's actually gonna kill us all. Because that was the plan. We're supposed to get the fuck up out of here. And she just destroyed everything. Listen, and I felt every single moment. Every single moment that was supposed to be scary, I felt it. Every moment that I was supposed to feel like I was a part of something bigger, I felt it. Every single moment that was supposed to be heart racing, like when she was in labor in the ship and they were running and it was, I fucking felt it. They made me feel everything. And the whole time I was reminded of WandaVision. The whole time. When Sue went all in to protect the baby, I was just getting flashes of Wanda. When she did the lean back and she was like, Wanda, because that's what Wanda is famous for. She does this with the magic and then she kind of leans back. And that was even a meme because in WandaVision she actually went so back that it didn't even look real. Turns out there was actually a person in a green suit, like actually holding her. That was crazy. But Sue did the same thing and with the powers in the hands. And I love just that whole scene of her just going like OP. She's just the most powerful out of the four of them. The four of them, not the baby. The baby is crazy, crazy powerful. But like out of the other three, she's the most powerful. She fucking pushed the whole giant alone, mind you, alone, through the whole city to the teleportation device. The whole way alone. In the way she was like actually doing this. That's my dream though. That's my dream, to play a superhero and have that moment where they just go full in, and especially if it's like powers that come from the hands, and just do this and be like, Rah! It's like, get everybody out of here. I got this. Save everybody. I'm gonna sacrifice myself. Rah! But then I was kind of clocking and I was like, is she gonna die? And then when he was doing CPR, bitch, I was crying. And then I wanted to get like a tissue, but to like below my nose, whatever, and I could just feel like the tears on my lips, and it was like salty. Yeah, it's crazy. And he was actually doing the CPR, and like like he was doing it, and I'm like, it's gonna be one of those moments where she's like, we wait a second, everybody's sad, and then she's like, but no, she was just dead. I was like, you gotta be fucking lying. She went fucking OP. Crazy, powerful woman. What does that remind you of? Monica in the Marvels? Maybe the Scarlet Witch, Multiverse of Madness? Because every time I went to the fucking theater to watch a Marvel movie, I lost one of my girls. When I went to watch Multiverse of Madness, it wasn't the first time I went to the movies, right? But it was the first time that I actually bought a ticket because I had money on my own. I lost Wanda. And then when I went to see the Marvels, I lost Monica because she's still trapped in the X-Men universe after she went OP and saved everybody. And now they did the same. She went OP, she saved everybody, and then she's dead. I'm like, another powerful woman, just gone. But Wanda is never gone. Monica's still alive. And then he had the baby. When the baby did this, I'm like, oh my God, maybe the baby can bring her back. And then he did. When I tell you I was so happy, fuck, they really played with my emotions, those motherfuckers. But yeah, just the whole vibe, the whole concept of it being futuristic. But then also kind of in the 60s. That's what I don't get. Because when they were showing when they were going to space and they showed the rocket, like they showed one of the scenes was like a person at home watching from the TV, and I'm like, you can travel at the speed of light. They invented the teleportation device, but that was the TV they had. It was like the small little square with like such horrible quality. I was like, you can travel at the speed of light and go to other planets and study other planets. You can't make a new TV? Crazy. But you know what that does? That kind of helps with everybody being together, because everybody was just like outside watching the rocket go to space, or the ship, whatever, instead of everybody just being at their individual homes and watching from like a big ass TV. Yeah. It's just that director did the fucking thing with this movie, and whoever wrote it too, because every line was felt, the way it was filmed was, everything was just imperfect. Not imperfect. Everything was perfect. Everything was in place. Everything was perfect, beginning to end. I don't think I've ever watched such a perfect movie that I liked beginning to end. Everything. I have no complaints, no anything, no nothing. Just love for this movie. Mm-mm. And then obviously the after credit scene. We're gonna go straight. I thought actually that this movie was gonna end with them going into the Thunderbolts, or like the new Avengers, because the Thunderbolts did end with the Fantastic Four ship. So I thought this was gonna end with them going to that universe. But I guess, yeah, it kind of didn't make sense. You need to set something up first. You need to give them a reason to go to the other universe. Um, but I feel like this movie should have came out first and then the Thunderbolts, because we saw Doctor Doom kind of at the end, and he wanted Franklin. Makes sense. I think it's gonna be one of those things that's like, there's only one Scarlet Witch, right? The Nexus being, it's our Scarlet Witch. There's only one. In other universe, there might be other Wandas, and there might be other Wandas that call themselves the Scarlet Witch, but they're not like ours. They don't have the power like ours, and they're not the Nexus being the Scarlet Witch. They are other versions, and they might be similar, but they're not that one. I think that's what's going to be with Franklin. There might be other Franklins out there from other Fantastic Four universes, but this one from this movie, from this universe, is going to be the most powerful out of all of them. And that's why Doctor Doom probably wants him. And so now I don't know how that's going to work. But like, imagine if we saw that first. We saw Doctor Doom, he wanted Franklin, and then Thunderbolts is released after, and the after credit scene is the Fantastic Four coming in to their universe. I feel like that would make more sense in like order. Because now we already saw them coming into the Avengers universe, but in their movie, nothing like that happened. So I feel like it's just a little weird. But yeah, Doctor Doom is gonna take Franklin. They're gonna go after him, but I still don't know how are they gonna end up in the main universe. I don't know. So I feel like that's why, like, it kind of doesn't make sense. Obviously, it's gonna be explained in Doomsday, but yeah, that's it. Those are all of my thoughts on the movie. I don't think I missed anything. Oh, I like that Johnny like actually followed through like with the leads and learned the language of the surfer, and when he convinced her and talked to her. Yeah. And when he was gonna sacrifice himself after Sue kind of passed out, I guess after she died, I was like, because in the early in the movie she said, it's not your sacrifice to make. Like the surfer said to Johnny, it's not your sacrifice to make. So when he made that thing like, oh, tell Franklin that his uncle loves him and he was gonna sacrifice himself, I was like, is he really? I think the surfer should come now and take his place. And that's what she did. Because that's what she said in the beginning. It's not your sacrifice to make. It was hers. Yeah. But that means Galactus is still alive, so he could appear later on. We don't know. Because the whole thing is that like they sent him somewhere else, like billions of years away, and he doesn't even have his ship, so he's gonna be stranded. So unless he goes into a world and he asks for help, or like, threatens people to help him, then yeah, he's trapped there. And or someone could go get him because Doctor Doom just was on the Fantastic Four universe, so he could just teleport whatever Galactus is and bring him back. Right. But yeah. Now I don't. I think I talked about everything. Yeah. But yeah, definitely let me know your thoughts on the movie. Let me know what you think about everything. I'm very excited for Doomsday. We'll see if they don't fuck it up. Hmm. Because yeah, it's not gonna be the same director as this movie. So we're gonna see how they do. But yeah, really love this movie. One of my favorite Marvel movies ever, if not my favorite, actually. True. If not my favorite, I think this might be. But yeah, let me know everything. Like and subscribe, don't forget. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.